32 from the United Kingdom, and 30 from the Germany, France area. So if you look down here below, you can see a sliding scale of the number of generations that you want to look at. So right now we're looking back 8 generations. If I bring that down to 7 generations, then these numbers all change because there are fewer ancestors 7 generations ago than there are 8 generations ago. And if I want to come all the way down just to the last 3 generations, then you can see it's very much limited. I don't have anybody in Europe 3 generations ago. They are. So all of my ancestors have been in the United States for at least 3 generations. If I go to 4 generations, I got one person. That's my great-great-grandfather, Rintoul, and he was from Scotland. So how far back do you have to go on your timeline to get to outside of the United States?
My grandfather came from England.
No, so yours is really close. Okay.
I'm on 1 generation and I'm 4th generation.
You gotta go to 4th? You're on what?
I'm on my first, says me, 1st generation, and it says I still have 6. Oh.
It's the one on the right, yeah. So that's kind of an interesting tell that everybody 3 generations ahead of me was already in the United States. So just a quick look. But let's look at that sliding scale again, and it's got 2 other options here. It's got converts and it's got immigrants. So if I hit converts in the last 4 generations, that means converts to the church, then I've only got 4 converts in my last 4 generations. And those happen to be my parents and my dad's parents. So if I click on these numbers here, click on there, and it should focus into what those 2 people are, but it doesn't. So I have to zoom out a little bit with the roller on my mouse. And I find my grandfather Wicker, born in Iowa, and my grandmother Wicker, born in Missouri. So that tells me who those 2 are. And then over here, I find my mother, born in Kansas, and my father, born in Colorado. So those are the only 4 converts in my 4 generations. Do you guys show some converts there? Okay. What's that?
I left my phone on, so I can't get my hotspot.
Oh, you don't need your hotspot. Just log into the Liahona here. Yeah, you can log into Liahona. It's Alma 3738 is the password.
Okay.
I don't know why that's still not up here. Oh, that. Alma 3738. You know why Alma 3738 is the password? Everybody know why? It's the only one that says, only scripture, only verse where the word Liahona is used. Okay, so now that I know that he was a convert, I can click on him on his face here. And it says his name is Benjamin Wicker, and I click on the caret to the right. And it goes right to him and gives me an overview of him.
Won't you get the pictures?
I zoomed in. So when you first, oh man, it takes me all the way back.
I'm zooming in at mine.
Well, yours, there has to be a picture in his profile for that to work. So when I go, yours doesn't show a picture? And there's a picture in his profile?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, so click on the icon, whatever it is, and then the caret. And now do you have a picture in the top left? Like that?
Say that again.
Okay, so if yours doesn't have a picture, you're at least going to see an avatar. Man, I have to go through this. It makes me go all the way back every time. Huh. Okay, you should see a circle with an avatar.
See the circle.
Well, okay, click on the circle.
It gives me two names.
Oh, that's because, okay, so you gotta expand it. If there's two, you gotta expand the two to get to the individual. Now click on that too. Now I'll give you both names. Which one do you want to look at? There you go.
But it didn't give me a picture like yours.
That's because your two were right on top of each other. Go back one. I'll show you. Oh, it's gonna take you all the way. Go back to activity again. Oh, there you go.
I said sign in again.
This one's here.
Make it sign in.
It's already signed in.
Okay, now get to Congress. And where are those two? Are they in the United States or?
I'm on.
Go down to three generations. Okay,
So
now who are you gonna look at?
I'm on the third generation, but it shows 8.
Oh, you gotta take the right side.
Take him back.
How do I do that? I click on
There you go. Okay, now click on that too. I lost the two because you're down in three generations. Okay, then click on your two. Okay, no, actually zoom in. Yeah, there you go. Keep zooming. And that two should eventually separate into two separate people. Because they're born in the same place. Okay, that's fine. Okay. But you can get to them by clicking on that circle and then clicking on the person you want. And then you're gonna see a lot of data about that person. So it shows the relationship to you, and then it has a timeline on the right that shows a few little facts about his life. And then along the top line here, you can see that there are other menu items. So if I click on photos here, if there are any photos of him, it's going to go to my memories module for that person. If I click on stories, it's also going to memories, but it's showing me written stories, or it's giving me a chance to write a story about him. If I go to documents, it's giving me 3 documents that have been uploaded about him.
You know, this is the ancestor I have to read over them.
Oh, because he's famous? Okay, okay. But you're still seeing the documents and photos, right? Well, read only, you should be able to.
But it's not doing it for me. Do I
Huh.
have to open the PDFs?
No, it should be. That's interesting. Okay, and Grandpa Wicker's, I've even got a couple of audios of his life story in his own voice, which is cool. And under ordinances, I've got all his temple ordinances. Now, I've got a question for you guys. I'm going to be teaching this family history guide to the people in Missouri at a public library. What am I going to say? Because I'm going to have to log in as myself. What am I going to say when ordinances show up or a temple shows up and all that? I don't.
Just
You say it's for church members only? Okay. Yeah, but I'm sure, I mean, if the question does come up,
Ordinances on my
Yeah,
top line.
exactly.
Then you can say that's for people who are members of.
yeah,
it won't come up on their screen.
right. I know, that's what I'm thinking
When they
about.
ask, just say, yeah, that's why.
Good
Okay.
missionary opportunity.
Yeah, it is a good missionary opportunity. And that's why I wanted to do it. But I just wondered what the best way to go about it is. Okay,
No, family history guide.
this is the family history guide, but it's teaching about family history.
Developed by
Yeah.
church members, correct?
Yeah, yeah, it was.
Well,
Yeah.
everybody knows that LDS Church has this ginormous interest in genealogical
Yeah.
stuff. They think everybody that belongs to the church is a genealogical expert.
Yeah.
So this table was developed by members of the church, and so there's
Yeah.
a lot of church things in there, but if you don't belong to the church, then obviously you're.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I was just thinking about that last night when I was going through this. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Everybody comfortable with that?
The documents on the first one.
Did it show you the title of the documents?
There's no in-
Nothing, huh? Well, that's it.
There's several of them.
That's interesting.
But I've got something interesting.
What's that?
My sealing to spouse was done in Nauvoo in 1846. So it says on here, for the temple, it says Nauvoo Historical,
Oh,
not the Nauvoo.
yeah.
Because, you know, there's two temples. in-
Yeah, and you know what? I noticed something just last night. The Provo Temple that's been destroyed, it's called the Provo Rock Creek Canyon or Rock Canyon.
Yeah, that's coming up on some of my ordinances that
Yeah.
have been done like in the 80s.
I know, that was interesting. They,
And it changed it already.
yeah, it already changed it. Hasn't-
He's very.
I know. Well, it's the Provo Rock Canyon. So- Okay, there's one other item here on this bottom slider that says immigrants. You see the immigrants one? You click on that and it's going to show you some little lines of how your immigration went. So 18 people, I'm at 8 generations now, so I'm way out there. But 18 people came from the mainland Europe and 11 people came from the United Kingdom. And they almost all of them came to the Virginia, North Carolina area. I can see by the lines. But if I bring this back, I'm going to bring it back to 4 generations. And I've just got this one guy again. Remember, he was the one guy that showed before, David Rintel. And he didn't come to the East Coast. He came all the way out here to where was it? Missouri? No, Kansas. Okay. So that just told me a quick story visually that I didn't have to do any deep digging or anything. But again, it takes me to the same person, shows me his photos, stories, documents, etc. Yeah.
Ireland, but it's not showing up anywhere on any of these.
What generation are you on?
How many generations?
I have it out to 8 now. So, yeah, and he didn't show up on the 4 or the 5. Yeah, he went from Ireland to Canada and Ontario.
Well, could he possibly be one of these two and not just higher
I
than?
just checked him.
Oh, okay.
He's not, yeah,
Okay.
weird.
I don't know. I don't know. There must be a bug in it somewhere.
So if you click on it and go to their page, how do you get back to the map? You have to go back through again.
Yeah, it's weird. When you go back, it takes you back to the start. It shouldn't. That's a bug in the program. So anyway, that's kind of fun. Here's some guy that went to Florida, which that surprises me. Oh, I don't even know his name.
Great grandfather from Canada who died in Florida. Because he was on a trip down there.
Oh, okay. Well, this guy
Gave it to you somehow.
was born in Massachusetts Bay Colony really early, 1764. And then he ended up dying in Cuba. So interesting. I'll have to look around at him.
Slave trader.
Well, I do know I have some Wicker relatives that were banished to the Bahamas from England. They were part of a rebellion, the Monmouth Rebellion in England, and they 2 brothers were banished to the Bahamas for being a part of that. Okay, now we're back on the map here. We're going to disregard the little slider here, the generation slider, and we're going to go up here to the top line menu. And we have another, we're on the generations tab. Let's go to the My Family Lines tab here. And we can do something kind of fun here, and the map keeps up with us. So if I click on my dad, it's going to tell me where he came from. See, I was born in Texas. That's why my picture's way down here in Texas, because I was born in Texas. He was born in Colorado. I go to his dad. His dad was born over in Iowa. So you see how it's making me a tracking map of ancestry. Then my grandpa's dad, Harlan, was also born in Iowa, but then it makes visible his dad, which was Benjamin, and he was born down here in North Carolina. So it kind of gives us a track of our migration as a family. James, his dad, Benjamin's dad, was also born in North Carolina, but his dad, James, oh, well, I didn't know it went that far in North Carolina. And Benjamin and Thomas, they came to Virginia really early, 1600s. And then Thomas's dad takes me back to England. So just kind of a fun little interactive map that your kids might be able to get a visual instead of trying to teach them on paper. This would be fun. Okay, so that's the My Family lines. You just keep clicking on a parent. I could have started with my mom down here and done the same thing. Just keep going up the maternal line, but it ends pretty quick because we don't know who Margaret Harris's parents were. So I can't get very far on him. She was adopted. Okay, and then we go back to the top line menu here and we see My Heritage. Now this one's kind of fun. It might be fun for kids, especially if you wanted to cook with them and cook a dish from your ancestral home. So My Heritage, all it does is tells me that 79% of my ancestors through 8 generations are from the United States, 6% from Germany, Scotland, Switzerland, Canada, United Kingdom, Netherlands, etc. But if you clicked on one of these, let's say Wales was interesting to you. Click on Wales, and I can see that my ancestor from Wales was Margaret Reed. But look at this top line menu. Food. Let's go look at the food from Wales. Okay, it tells us about traditional Welsh dishes include laverbread, a seaweed dish. Well, doesn't sound very good to me. Then I can get recipes. I can make some Glamorgan sausage. Okay.
Have to have more entire Philly cheese.
Yeah. Is that just an old theme for Philly cheese? Okay, then I got families. It tells me a little bit about family traditions. Adult sons generally remain at home working on their parents' farms until they marry. And a younger son inherits the farm. That's interesting. Social, men shake hands when greeting and say, "How do you do?" And that's doesn't sound much different than us. Interesting facts. Wales is called, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Cymru. Anybody speak Welsh?
I know that it doesn't do it like you think it would.
Yeah, I know. The lack of vowels, that's for sure.
Mine says I have Scottish, Irish ancestry, and I don't know if anybody is Scottish.
Well, it'll tell you who, if you go to that top left, my ancestors, somebody in your family. It's got to be from there.
One kid was born in Scotland and the whole rest of the family were in England.
Oh, yeah.
I think they were on vacation or something. You know, it's like
That's interesting.
parking in the garage make you a Chevy.
Yeah, really.
Yes.
Okay, and then they have traditions. Mari Lud, the wassailing horse. Wow, that'd be interesting. And then church, it tells you, oh, that's about our church. That's like the history of the LDS church in Wales. Yeah, so that's interesting. Okay, so to get out of that, I can just hit the X here. That's what I was doing wrong before, is I was hitting the back button and that was taking me all the way out. Like when I was in my heritage here. Oh, this one doesn't have an X, but that further, that deeper one did.
The X thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So now I'm going to go to timeline. We got one more top line menu here called timeline. Oh, and that's where we started from. So that's interesting. That looks the same as generations, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Huh.
Maybe mine is.
Oh, this has got the years down here instead of generations. So if I want to see what was going on in 1850, I still got a big bunch of people on the East Coast, a few people there. Back in 1800, I should have more in England, but I don't. It's the same number. Oh yeah, one different. Huh, that's interesting. 1750, less on the East Coast, less over there too. I don't
Not
know.
understanding that, the numbers
Yeah.
get bigger as you go to 2000.
I know, so bring it down here, like 1,700, if you have anybody.
Huh.
So, you have 6 people.
Interesting.
No, you didn't.
So anyway, that's just an activity that you can do with young kids. There's quite a bit of info, yeah. Okay, and that's basically all there is to where am I from. Does anybody have any questions or want to do anything more with that?
No, but I haven't.
Oh,
It's not spelled on this the way it is in the family search tree.
well, it's getting it from the family search
I
tree.
know, that seems really odd.
That is really odd.
It's kind of way off.
Really? Well, I wonder if there must still be some bugs to this.
Yeah.
But I did forget to show you one last thing. So I'm going to choose, since I don't know anything about this lady up in Canada, I'm going to choose her. And oh, well, that's the same thing we had before, but that's interesting. Let me do that one more time here. I'm not sure what I'm seeing here. Okay. So Catherine Ames now, I've got some more events. I mean, some more menus here. I've got life events. All I know about her is when she was born and where and when she died. But then I've got these items. I've got world history events that happened during her lifetime. So if I click on this, when she was 20 years old, the Industrial Revolution began. When she was 43 years old, the first hot air balloon was successfully flown. So that's pretty interesting. And when she was 67, the first commercially successful steamboat was invented. So I like that. That's really fun for me.
Where did we get to do?
Okay, so let's go back. Where am I from? Timeline over here to the top right. See that?
I got a map.
Okay, and when you get the map, find a person. So I chose this gal up in Canada, and I went to her, and that's where I get this. She's my 5th great grandmother. Never even heard of her name before, so I don't know.
Found super guy born in Switzerland, I've never heard of.
Yeah. So remember, this is the combined family tree from the world, and there could easily be mistakes in there. But I like this world history one, but since she's from Canada, it's going to give me Canadian events as well. See this? So the Battle of the Plains of Abraham happened when she was 19 years old. Never heard of that battle either.
So it gives a first name. Mine just gives a birth.
Gives a what?
Birth.
Oh, then that's all that's known about her. Then we got United States events. So let's see how old she was when the U.S. became independent here. 1776. She was 36 years old. And she was 49 when George Washington became the first presidency. 51 when the Bill of Rights was passed. So anyway, that's kind of fun. And then it also has church history, our church history. So she was 65 years old by the time the prophet Joseph Smith was born. So that's kind of fun. I like that. Okay, so that was going to be the first half hour of our class, and we have used a half hour. So the goal 11 that these gals are going to be teaching you is all about deciphering handwriting. So I thought for the second half of today's class, I'd introduce you to mechanical handwriting, which is becoming very, very accurate nowadays. When I was at BYU in 1980, I studied machine translation in the College of Humanities College, but studying linguistics. And they were trying to figure out a way to make computers be able to translate languages. Well, now, you've got Google Translate. I mean, what's it been 45 years ago? And it just seemed impossible for that to ever happen. But it's here today, and it's very, very useful. But handwriting has been a little more difficult. I mean, I don't know that it's been more difficult, but it's been a different challenge than translating foreign languages because everybody's handwriting is different. So I want to show you a little bit about how things have come about here with handwriting. First of all, let me show you. Where do I come from? Okay, so this is a program that's called Pen to Print, and I'm going to demonstrate this for you in a minute. And you can get 10 free pages of handwriting and analyzed. But this is my mother's handwriting up here, and you can see it's a scan, and it was originally written in pencil, so it's not even all that clear. Can you tell what that word is right there?
Cried.
That's cried, yeah. Mama cried when they played.
Often circumstances, as usual,
Although this band doesn't, okay? So I put it into Pen to Print, and here's what it got. In as a species night. So it says it was a special night. It is cut off. So no problem that it didn't get that. But it was a special night, and it says in as a species night. Monka cried when they played Pomp, whatever that says. As usual, although this band doesn't. So you can see there's 4 mistakes in there, but it got a lot of it. Even the word cried, I was surprised it got cried because I had a hard time reading cried.
It looks kind of like Creed.
Yeah.
Surprised I
Yeah,
didn't.
but Mama wouldn't creed, Mama would cry.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
But you can see that her M is kind of separated here. That looks like an N. So I can see how and that looks like a C.
Almost looks like
Or
Maria.
a mania.
Huh?
Maria.
Maria. Oh yeah. Could be Maria. So anyway, don't you agree that it did pretty good for as hard as that is to read? Now, my mother's handwriting is really quite pretty normally, but this was a photocopy of a pencil, so it wasn't quite so clear. Now, my dad's handwriting down here below, he kind of printed hand wrote. So look at what it did here. You can read that pretty easily, right? Except for said has a line through it like a dollar sign. But let's see what it said. Did it get the dates right? 11/13/95. Instead of 2. 11/19/95. Yep. And then what did it do here? Oh, it did it twice. It did it twice. Why did it do that? I don't know.
Want to make sure you got it.
Monday the 13th, it didn't get the TH. We got up in good time, said our goodbyes, then took Rye and Shannon on the same tour we took, and it says love took. Fred and Penny on the night before to see. So it made a couple of mistakes. it read my dad's handwriting better than it read my mom's though, and her handwriting is prettier than my dad's, I think.
Is this printing and hers is cursive?
Yeah, he was printing.
Cursive is always
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah.
The new AI program that we did interpret some of these things to see if it's accurate or close.
Uh-huh.
Probably 80% accurate, but.
Yeah.
It doesn't pick up everything.
Yeah. But it's reading typewritten stuff, right?
No, it's written handwriting.
Oh, you're doing handwriting too?
Yeah, type.
Okay,
It's
good.
part of the indexing program.
Okay, I didn't know the indexing program could do handwriting yet.
It's doing.
Okay,
And the records have been anywhere in the 1700s, 1800s.
great. That's great. Okay, so I thought pen to print does pretty good, but there is even a better, a more accurate place. So this is the website where you can get the free 10 pages free, pentoprint.com, or you can subscribe. So if you do the yearly plan for $50 a year, you can get 100 pages a month. So I don't know that you'd have enough handwriting to do that, but it's available and it's free. So we're gonna do, I'm gonna do one of those real quick for you, just to
Does it do it
demonstrate.
in foreign languages too.
That is a good question. I have not tried that. Do you have any samples on you?
Technically, some of the documentation or Danish.
Okay. I'm going to go to pentoprint.com and just demonstrate one for you. So we're going to go to online OCR. Everybody knows OCR stands for optical character recognition, which these guys do for a living back there. So we're going to go to handwriting converter here. I'm going to upload. I think I have to download it first because it's on my Google Drive here. Just a second. Where is it?
Are you able to go in there because you have a membership? Because-
No, you can get free. You can get 10 pages free.
And you haven't hit your quota yet?
What's that?
You haven't done 10 pages yet?
No, I have. I did buy a membership, but you can all go in there and try it. So I'm going to do this. I think this is the one. Oh no, that's the long one. I want to do a short one here. Just a minute. Got to remember which one I was going to show you. Oh, okay. You'll get a kick out of this one. This is a letter I wrote to Joseph F. Smith, when I was 11 years old. So here, I'm going to show it to you. And it's really bad copy because it's really old and I just found it. Dear Joseph F. Smith, I would like to know why the channel that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints owns.
Advertisements of cigarettes.
Yeah, okay, so that was my letter to Joseph F. Smith. He wrote me back. Here's his reply. See, there's Glenn Wicker, age 11. So Joseph Fielding Smith wrote back, Dear brother, since I have nothing to do with programs on KSL, why do you not complain to the management? Isn't that funny? So you can look and see what a poor copy this is. So I'm going to put it in pen to print.
Okay.
And let's see what happens here. First of all, I got to download it. I guess not.
That always advertised something.
Yeah. So I'm going to upload a scan from my downloads. Where's my downloads? Oh, come on. My downloads ought to be showing right there, but they're not. Yeah. Okay, 1966 letter. Okay, so you can see right here, I have to hit continue. And it's processing up here. And there, it got it done. So let's see what it says. Instead of dear, it says year. I would like to know when the channel that Crunch of Jesus Christ Batter Bay Saint owns.
Batter baked saying.
That's far off.
There, yeah, you got Spanish, French. if this goes on, I don't think we will convert many people to the Church of Jesus Christ of Catterday Paints. Okay, and then here it says, brother, I have nothing to do with programs on KSS. Why do you want Comtain to the management? Okay, so
So
I
what
mean-
position was he at that time?
I don't know.
You
He,
were 11 years old.
well, President McKay was still the president, so he would have been the president of the Quorum of the 12 then, right? Because he became the next president. Yeah. So anyway, you can't blame it too much for the poor quality that it is, right? But it would take me almost as much time to go correct this as it would to just type it out, right? So that's probably not that useful when you got something that's this bad to start with.
I do one page of my grandpa's journal, see how it did,
Yeah,
and then determine whether I want it.
yeah. But let me show you, I'm going to show you another page that I did. And here's the original from my grandmother. And it's about the day she met my grandfather. And it got it very good. Now, her writing is quite pretty. And it's a pretty solid, pretty solid copy. And so it has no mistakes, but I put it through a different place, not pen to print. I put it through kindex.org. So it did very good. Kindex is a little more expensive, but it's about 25 cents a page. But anyway, it did a pretty good job. Now, if you wanted to make something like this, where you wanted to show, put on memories and have the original on the left and the transcription on the right, you can easily do that on Google Slides and save it as a picture. So it's real easy to do. All you would do is go to your Google Slides here, which is somewhere down here, right there. And you do a blank presentation and insert the image, which is going to be the image of your scan or whatever. So I'm gonna take this one, put it in, and it becomes a picture. Whoops. I'm gonna put it to the left here. And then I would take and change this text box here.
You can change the file, your slide format, and just get a.
Yeah, I can get a text box. I can just insert a text box here and just draw a text box to the right. And then go to my pen to print here, copy and paste. Oh, I have to actually download it. It won't let you copy and paste from there. Whoops. Where did it go? Download, pen to print, export. And then I would copy and paste the transcription. Go back here, paste that in there, and reformat it so that it all fits in the box. And then go File, Export. Where's my... oh, well, download in the case of download as a JPEG or a image, whatever. Well, I could do either one. And then open that, and I've got a picture now that has both the original and the transcription that I can upload into memories. And people can see their handwriting and all that. Plus, not have to trudge through the difficulty of figuring it out. So that's how I do that. Okay, so we're going to go to Kindex now. And I'm going to show you a live demonstration of, I've got 20 pages of 4 different handwriting in here, indexing, which is basically transcribing it. And let's take a look. And it makes you acknowledge that it's not 100% You're not gonna get 100%. And it's gonna charge me $5 for 20 pages, and I'm ready to do that. So I've already got my, transaction will be sent via email. So I say, okay, and you can see that it's working at it. It's got, maybe it's only 18 pages I did. But $5 is their minimum charge, and if you don't do it about 20 pages, you're not getting your money's worth. So you don't want to just do one page because $5 is their minimum charge.
And it's possible you could transcribe it yourself, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it gives you the option to do it yourself.
Yeah. Because it'll come back to you all typed up and ready.
Yeah, it'll show right here. In fact, I put that one page in there. It's the same page as the Joseph Fielding Smith letter to see if it did any better than pen to print did. So we'll see. It'll take it a minute. While it's doing that, I'm going to go over here to, have you all ever used Google Earth? Google Earth? Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You can do some really fun things with Google Earth. This book is the Genealogist Google Toolbox. It has lots of interesting things that you can do with Google, but I want to show you this one real quick while we're waiting for that to be transcribed. This lady, you could take flying tours. Like, remember how we just saw, we went from Texas to Colorado to Kansas to Virginia. You can take flying tours on Google Earth and have it run as a movie. And you can fly into the home where you were born and then fly up to where you moved to go to college and where you got married. And yeah, it's not real simple. I did it once and I can't find my file because it was on an old computer and I forgot to put it on Google Drive.
If you had the address, or if you looked up land records and found your great grandfather's
Yeah.
property and you got an address of it, and put that in.
Yeah, let me show you what this gal did. It is incredible. I'm gonna minimize this. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna skip a little bit, but she starts here and then she has on the left side all the addresses and places that she wants to go. And then she flies us in to the place and then she overlays old historic maps that she finds online. So I'm going to skip ahead here. There's San Francisco. She found an old map and she overlaid it on there. And this is the map of what San Francisco looked like in the day of her ancestor that she's highlighting. So she goes on in there and then she embeds things about his career. So I'm going to skip a little bit. There she embeds an old video of what the streetcar tracks looked like in that day and age that she found online. And then she goes on and she's going to embed videos of cable car history. And it just pops up right in the video from the map. And she does all kinds of fun things like this all the way through the history of this guy. She embeds a ticket of the cable car and shows where her ancestor worked because he was a streetcar conductor. She found an old 3D model of the streetcars from that day and embedded that. And then she flies us on over to other places. Anyway, it's just really cool what you can do. And on Google Earth here, you can type in anything. So if we typed in Payson, Utah, then it will fly us to Payson, Utah. And just gets closer and closer and closer. And then if we want to go even closer than that, we can scroll in. There's the recreation complex here. We can get all the way down to the street and look at the street level here. Boom. Click a highlighted street. So let's look at the main street here. Boom. Takes us right down to the street. We can look at the houses around us. There's the high school.
Now.
So anyway, Google Earth is a lot of fun to play with. And I made this video on Google Earth of where I was born and where I've lived my whole life. And I can't find it now. And I went to a lot of work to do that. But anyway,
Get all 18 homes that you mentioned yesterday?
no, this was a long time ago.
That's just since he's married.
Okay, so I've got the green check mark here. It tells me that it's done with the transcription. So I go over here and it automatically shows me the original and the transcription here. And it does really, really good. I would say it is 95% accurate.
Can you go in and edit it?
Yes, and I would edit it. So for example, let's see if we can find, see, that is Jerry Sanders, I think, not Landau. So I would just go in here and quickly change that to Sanders. Okay. So it's pretty good. Let's go down and see what it did for my letter to President. Oh, here's, okay, that was my mother's handwriting. Here's my my grandfather's. I only got 2 letters from my grandfather, and that's his handwriting.
What did you stand these documents on?
Just on like the color copier out here. So it's just a simple copier.
Copy them on the
Yeah.
copy machine and then put them in a PDF file.
Yep. And then uploaded them. So I was thinking that it would follow me. And when I clicked on the left, it would follow me to where it is, but it doesn't. All it does is puts page breaks. So I'm on page 6, and that's the end of page 7. So let's go up to page 6. Okay. So here's modern trailer court. So we'll have to wait till we get our, you guys read over here and see if we got this right. I'm going to start with don't get.
It starts with don't get.
Okay, don't get in too big a rush to see us, as we have decided to stick our necks out again and put in a modern trailer court. So we will have to wait till we get our finances replenished before we can do anything. But it looks like it would pay off very good. Was that exact?
That's exact.
See, that's pretty good. Now let's go down to a different person's. This is my dad's
My
handwriting.
daughter's not here.
To correct the English.
The grammar.
You can't correct people's grammar when he had a 3rd grade education. Okay, so here's we're on page 8. We can see page 8 up here. So I'm going to go to page 8 here. Okay.
Your mom and dad.
That's the end of page 8. You need to go out.
Oh, that's the end of page 8. Okay, I'm going to read it. You guys follow along over on the left. Dear Mom and Dad, I'm having one of my unusual sleepless nights tonight. I've been laying in bed with your wonderful daughters. Did it say daughters? Yeah, I missed the S there. So I'd have to put an apostrophe S right there. Head laying on my shoulder while she sleeps and counting all my many blessings. Sometimes I get to feeling so happy I feel as if I would just burst wide open. I have no idea what I've ever done to deserve so much. I have everything any man could ever want out of life.
Yeah.
Except for the apostrophe S.
Yes.
It was perfect. So this is a very, very good system. Let's see what the next type of writing we got. Well, that's a long letter, Dad. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is page 18. This will be interesting to see what it did with this. Page 18. 14, 16, 17. Okay. There we go. Dear Joseph F. Smith, I would like to know why the Bonneville unit. Oh, that's what I forgot to tell you. This uses AI where it can't figure something out, and it tries to figure it out for you. So it knows that Bonneville owns KSL. You see that? It picked that out of artificial intelligence, not from what the letter says.
Oh.
Isn't that interesting? Why the Bonneville unit, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saint, shows advertisements for cigarettes. I don't think it's right to advertise things that Jesus wants us to do. That Jesus wants us to do? What does it really say? Oh, that Satan wants. That's where AI can go really bad.
That was not in.
It had no idea what that word was, so it used the context to try and figure it out. Yeah. So if this goes on, I don't think we will convert very many people to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Sincerely yours, Stephen Wicker. Got my name wrong. 90 North 5th East, Kaysville, Utah, age 11.
Let me see how you found it. You have up there.
It's got E-N and so.
Yeah, I could see how they got Stephen out of that, but I don't see how they got North out of that. But they got it. All right, let's see about Joseph's writing. Dear brother, since I have nothing, I'll scroll down a little. Since I have nothing to do with programs on KSL, why do you not complain to the management? Or take your objection to President David O. McKay. Personally, I do not know that tobacco is advertised on a church program. Joseph Fielding Smith. Perfect, right?
See, it's on the, it could be on the channel, but probably it would not be a sponsor of any church, like conference.
Like a
It
church
wouldn't be a
program.
Church program.
Right.
That they sponsor,
Right.
and that's what he's saying there.
Yeah.
When was the last time
Probably correct.
advertising was on conference?
Yeah.
I can't believe that I wrote that letter. I have no recollection of that.
That's so cool.
Oh, yes. So if I were to do this correctly, I would go in here and underline it to make it perfect. And then I can save that. I can say this is complete and save it. And now, once it's complete and saved, then I can, let me see, scroll down.
All 18 pages. Just that one.
Well, no, I'm saying that all 18 are done. I can undo this because I haven't gone through it all. But I just wanted to show you that when you've completed something, if you go back to, let's see, how is that? That's not it. Let me go back to the auto indexed and my demo here. Where'd my demo go? It put it somewhere else.
It's not the list, and then it's in a new file.
Auto
Well,
indexed.
that's them individually, isn't it?
No, these are other things that I did.
But I don't
Well,
see.
you said it was done, maybe it.
Yeah, I don't see your demo.
Oh, here's complete. Here we go. There it is. No, that's not it. This is it. Various samples.
There you go.
Okay, so now if I click on this, now that it's complete, I'm supposed to be able to share it. Where is,
Or rename it or whatever you need to do.
well, yeah, I could do all that, but, let's go to record info here. Demo.
Attached to, you can attach it to people.
Well, there's supposed to be a, I've done this before, but can't remember. Anyway, once it's completely indexed, you can,
Does it do OCR indexing of it?
yeah, that's completely searchable. So let's use the word fielding because that was a word that's probably not going to be in a lot of places. And that took us directly to his signature, Joseph Fielding Smith. Now it didn't take us to the exact page here, but it tells us that within this document, the word fielding is found once. Okay. So I can do that through my whole entire archive here. I could search for the word, some unusual word. What? Let's look for Dover, Delaware. Then it found 2 instances of Dover in that as well. Okay. So anyway, that's kindex.org. We had a guy come do Kindex for us a while back. And it's a very good, not only is it saved in the cloud, but they also save all of your archive in the Granite Mountain, the vault in the Granite Mountain, so that it's actually backed up from any nuclear attacks even. So they're the only company that I know of that does that. So, okay, I think that's about it. Any questions?
And my grandkids wonder why I want them to learn how to write in.
Yeah. They can't even read it.
They
That's-
they can't, yeah,
well,
well,
it's-
mine do, because I'm the.
You've been teaching them?
Handwriting Nazi.
Oh, okay, good. Good, good, good.
I remember today at school, I was writing on the board and the student said, Meryl, I can't read that. Or what? She goes, can't read cursive. All right.